From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Hey there, SportsLine on your television. Steve Layman here with you. Glad you are here with us on this night as we get set for the AFC divisional round right here in Nashville. We're going to do it all night long on News Channel 5+. Phone lines open 615-737-7767 if you'd like to join in on the conversation. And after sitting through the bye week last week, we know who the Titans are facing. It is the Cincinnati Bengals, who won their first playoff game in 31 years over the weekend against the Raiders. The Bengals moving on behind Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase and company, that explosive offense, defense that will get after you as well. And now they will come to Nissan Stadium Saturday afternoon, a 3:30 kickoff that you can watch over on News Channel 5 with a spot for the winner in the AFC Championship game next week. Of course, if the Titans win, a chance to host the AFC Championship game for the first time ever on January 30th. A 2 o'clock kickoff for that one. They will face either the Bills or the Chiefs. So a huge opportunity this weekend for the Titans. They've earned it as the #1 seed. And as we know, when you get the bye, when you are the #1 seed, history, at least the numbers wise, are on your side. More than 50% of teams with the bye have advanced to the Super Bowl. 50% of 1 seeds with the bye. 2 seeds used to have the bye as well. 50% of 1 seeds with the bye have made it to the Super Bowl. That number is 11 of 16 in the last 8 years. So the Titans have the road in front of them. Chance to play 2 games at home. They'll be a favorite against the Bengals on Saturday. And then they'll have a difficult matchup, obviously, if they get by that to the AFC Championship game, but it will be in Nashville, unlike 2 years ago when they had to go to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs and obviously fell short in that game. So the Titans with a huge opportunity in front of them. The road before them to Los Angeles is out there, and today it's back to work. And the Titans actually went to work today with pads on. They got after it today, coming off the bye week to get back into gear of things, to get up for what they're going to do on Saturday. Derrick Henry was out there with them, and actually the very first contact he took, first time in 11 weeks since that game in Indianapolis on Halloween Day. Larrell Murchison is sitting there with kind of a blocking pad, and Derrick Henry runs through him. I mean, Murchison spinning off. It was one of those things that was like, okay, he's ready. Seemingly another good sign that number 22 will be activated and on the field for the Titans on Saturday. They have not officially told us that yet. He has not officially been activated yet, but all signs point to the fact that Henry will be a full go for that game against the Bengals, which is great news. And when you think about the Titans' health, it's not just about Derrick Henry. You look at this roster. At times this year, they had as many as 20 guys on injured reserve. They were decimated by injuries in the middle of the season. I mean, that team that played in New England, they got housed by the Patriots, looked nothing like the team that started the season, and fortunately for the Titans, looks nothing like the team that we think is going to trot on the field Saturday against the Bengals. Julio Jones is back. A.J. Brown is back. Derrick Henry, we think, is going to be back. The offensive line has been as healthy in the last few weeks as it has been throughout the entire course of the season. And defensively, the linebackers are back. I mean, you have too many linebackers at this point in the interior. You have the pass rushers set up. Bud Dupree is back healthy. And you're healthy on the back end with Jackrabbit Jenkins and Christian Fulton back in the lineup and available for Mike Vrabel and Shane Bowen and company in that defense on Sunday. It has been a long slog through the injuries for the Titans this year. A record number of players that had to be used to get through a 17-game season. It's been really difficult. The adversity has been there throughout. They obviously had a huge slump mid-season because of all the attrition that they faced. But somehow, some way, they've gotten through it all. They won 12 games, repeated as division champions, and got the #1 seed in the AFC. And now here they are, the week of the game in the divisional round. And they had 3 guys on the injury report today. only one of them was not a full participant, and that was T.A. Tart up front, who was limited. Somehow, the Titans are as healthy as they have been the entire season as they get set for the playoffs. That is something that if you're a Titans fan, you should just be ecstatic about, because that was always the question. We knew pretty early on in this season that this Titans team had the potential to be special. It could be a division champion. It could be a contender in the AFC. It could potentially win a Super Bowl. But as the injuries started to mount, the question always became, will they have enough left? Will they have enough bodies left when they get to the playoffs to really, truly have a shot at this thing? And here they are, all the injuries, they've gone through them. Other guys have had to step up. They've probably got more depth now because of it. But here they are, healthy as they get set. You look around, you see the injuries that have stuck with the Packers in the NFC. You see the injuries that continue to mount for the Buccaneers. You see it with other teams around the league. But for the Titans, health. Even the Bengals. Ogunjobi, really good, impactful defensive player for that team. He's out. Not going to play this week. That's a huge benefit for the Titans. The Titans used the bye week to their advantage. We'll see. The history has not been kind to the Titans when they have a bye or when they've been the number one seed. In 2000 and 2008, they were the number one seed, and they lost in this game at home to the Ravens. They didn't play well. They didn't use the bye in the way they should, to their advantage. We'll see if this Titans team can do it, but boy, is the path there for them, and the health looks for the first time this season to be on their side. Phone lines are open. 737-7767 is the number. What do you think about this matchup? Titans and Bengals for a spot in the AFC Championship game. Do you have any concerns about how the Titans will match up against Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, all those guys that the Bengals trot out there that are so explosive offensively? Don't forget about Joe Mixon in the backfield. Do you have any concerns about that matchup? Do you have any concerns about the meeting we saw last year between these two teams when the Titans, again, were a division champion last year? I don't think they were nearly as good as what we've seen from this team this season. But the Titans were a division champion last year and went to Cincinnati and lost to a Bengals team at the time who had one win. Are you concerned at all about that going into this matchup? Mike Vrabel said he went back to watch the game and it about made him puke. That's how he described it today to us. Not a great visual, but neither was that game. And the Titans look at this season now, obviously completely different teams, and that's what they're saying. Maybe you can learn a little bit from that game, but it has no bearing on what happens this weekend in their mind. But does it have any bearing in your mind and how you view this game and you view this matchup? Your thoughts on that as we continue along here tonight. Again, phone lines open, 737-7767. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we will get to your phone calls. We'll also get analysis from our buddy Jonathan Hutton from the Electric Power Company Sunday Sports Central the other night, and much more as we continue on. This is SportsLine on News Channel 5+.